What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to today's edition of Free Tool Friday. My name is Tyler S. Clark, humble leader of the Proactive Accountants community, where we help you to create generational wealth and impact by attracting and winning the business of your dream clients. If you want to know exactly how we can help you to do that, there will be links floating around here somewhere so that we can accelerate you on your path to doing just that, building your dream firm. And today's topic is something that is rocking the ships of a lot of accounting firms out there right now because it's been inflicted on us. And of course, what I'm talking about is the extension of the tax deadline. Now, this topic is somewhat inflammatory, and I understand why, because no one really asked the people on the front lines if they felt that this was necessary. But simultaneously, there are people who are really happy about this, and there are people who are angry about this. There's really two sides of this coin, or two spectrums of emotions that I'm seeing as it relates to this wide sweeping change that's impacting the accounting, bookkeeping, and tax industry. The question, though, is what are we going to do about it? What's the best way to approach something that has been pushed onto us, that we have no say over? Now, there's one way we can approach it, which is the reactionary way of doing things, which is inflammatory. I'm so happy I needed this extension. Thank you. You saved my business. And it's like, that shouldn't really be the response, but I've heard it. I've seen it. It's like, yes, thank you. I needed this. And that's okay if that's you, just to be clear. But should that have been the way that we approached it and thought about it? Should we have hoped for and expected or been so incredibly grateful for something that was completely outside of your control? Because it could have easily gone the other way. No extension at all, extension. And if there were no extension, now we're in this, all these things coming at you all at once, and frustration and phone calls, and got to get them on extension, right? And okay, I get that too. But I don't like celebrating things that are outside of our control. Similarly, I don't like getting angry about things that are outside of our control. Oh, the government and this and that, and they're just forcing things on us, and they don't know what it's like. And now clients are calling us, and all outside of our control. Other side of the spectrum, anger. Other side, happy. And I like to say, wait a minute. All of this is counterproductive to building your dream firm. Why? Because the moment that you allow things outside of your control to impact how you go about your firm, your life, your livelihood, you've just given up control. And I want you to always stay focused on the things you control. And there's this stark difference between the clients that we have that just day after day build successfully, create processes, systems that attract and win the business of their dream clients, deliver efficiently. Most of our clients are like, this doesn't impact us at all. That was the main takeaway from one of our top coaching calls this week. People were just like, they just shrugged it off. They're like, yeah, it doesn't really change anything for us. And I was a little bit taken back by that. I won't say I was quite surprised, but I was marveling at the mindset of these dream firm leaders and how they were essentially not allowing this thing to impact them. They said, no, I've got vacation scheduled for after April 15th. It's not going to change the way that I do anything in my business. And it was just like one after another. Yes. Now, there are, of course, things that were spawned from that. And this is the conversation that I want to have with you is, well, is this the new normal? What is going to continue to, is this going to get 2 years in a row this has happened? Now, there are, of course, circumstances that are potentially predicating or requiring this, dictating it to a certain extent. But there are so many things surrounding this that we just need to take a minute and not be reactionary over, right? That's the difference between our dream firm leaders and the people who are struggling, just to say it out loud. And I wonder if there's a difference between someone who's reactionary and someone who's not. I wonder. I suppose it's a question for the philosophers. I'm not sure if we'll ever truly understand the difference between reactionary accounting firm owners and the ones that are building their dream firms. I'm not sure. I feel like the answer is right in front of us, but I just don't really know. Maybe someone can comment down below and let me know what the difference is. Anyway, point here is that when we start to not be reactionary, we start to ask meaningful questions about what does this mean to us? And there's really two ways it can go. If you were maybe under the gun, so to speak, to get these returns out the door, well, that's good news. We have an extra 30 days that we didn't, 30 odd some days that we didn't previously have. The question is, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to change the way you operate so that whether there is something outside of your control that comes down or not, that it's irrelevant moving forward? Because this 30 days is a gift to make sure that that never happens again. That's what this 30 days is meant to represent. That's a meaningful question. What are we going to do to make sure that if this was something that was super important to me, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter ever again. That's being proactive about creating something that is inside of your control. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, let's say that you were just like, it doesn't really matter, right? Doesn't matter to me one way or another. Let's take it one step further than that. That means that you had your fulfillment systems dialed in. You were not under the gun. You're not under pressure. So what does it mean for you? Does it mean that peak selling season was extended, gifted to you for an extra 30 days? That's the way I'm thinking about it personally, assuming you're in that position, right? You either have capacity because of how well your systems have been built, or you don't have capacity because of how your systems have not been built the right way. And it's simply just a reflection. This is not to be reactionary or angry or like super happy. It's just, okay, I can choose to capitalize on this if my fulfillment systems were built the right way, right? Excellent, right? Cool, fun, great. Let's have at it. Let's figure out what's the new marketing system we're going to put in place. How are we going to communicate a little bit better so that we can really take advantage of this? Because it's extremely top of mind right now. Extension, taxes, and all we have to do to tap into that is just communicate a little bit more. There are a lot of ways to do that, and we talk about that in a lot of other Free Tool Fridays. Other side here, okay. Again, it's like not angry that my fulfillment systems are broken. It's just the question. It's just the conversation that you need to have with yourself. Take the moment to pause and reflect and say, why are my clients clamoring for their stimulus checks? Why do they feel they need to talk to me to get that information? Or why do they think their returns need to be filed immediately, even though we have these extra 30 days? Or why is it that I feel I need to even put these clients on extension, even though I have all the information necessary to file the returns? Again, there are a lot of different answers to those questions, and I'm not here to dictate to you necessarily what is the right answer to any of those, but we have to be willing to have meaningful conversations with ourselves that get us to different places. Like the most fascinating thing from our coaching call with our top clients this past week, where this was the center of attention, was we were not interested in providing solutions. And I know that sounds strange. We do oftentimes provide solutions, but we were very interested in asking meaningful questions. Because if we just kept asking questions, we would get to a significantly better one that deserved a solution, right? We could say, well, should I be responding the way I am to my clients right now? It's like, okay, that's an okay question, right? Like it's an okay one. And as you continue to get further and further, we got to a question that I'd like to share with you that I think is really powerful and just perfectly summarizes today's Free Tool Friday. How do you create the culture where your clients and your staff your clients and your staff are not deadline dependent? Your clients and your staff are not deadline dependent. Now, I know we run on deadlines, but the key here is like not dependent on anything related to them, that we have everything so dialed in that the culture that we've built makes it stress-free, smooth sailing to your dream firm. So I'd love to know if you have any quality questions that you've meditated on as a part of today's training. And if you do, drop them in the comment section down below so that we can ultimately expand what our firms as a collective unit are capable of doing so that we can all ultimately have better lives for ourselves, our team, our clients, and our families. So this is today's Free Tool Friday. We've had a fantastic last 15 minutes here, and have a wonderful weekend. I will see each and every single one of you next week. Remember, only you can create your dream firm, but we help you every single step of the way. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everyone.